Jim Cramer, welcome to Wall Street Confidential.
How are you? Good, how about you?
Good, thank you. Now, the Federal Reserve is meeting on September 15th.
Right.
Many believe now they will cut that Fed funds rate after that discount rate was cut last Friday. What do you do in the event of a rate cut?
Well, first, let's just talk about what the Fed really did. You know, we know that the discount window was too high. The rate was too high to make it worth anyone. We also know that Countrywide Financial needed to be able to get to that discount window. We know that the banks that lent them $11 billion needed to. I think that this was really all precipitated by Merrill Lynch downgrading Countrywide to a sell, which then caused a panic. I think that Countrywide is being the last mortgage guy, last independent mortgage broker with somewhat of a bank, is a canary in the coal mine for a lot of the banks' savings and loans that are left. We've wiped out the mortgage brokers, but there's a lot of savings and loans that could be in trouble. And also H&R Block could be in trouble. CIT acts like it's in trouble. All of these will need some protection from the Fed. Also, I think that one of the things that's really missing in all of the analysis is, how about these home builders? The home builders, they are hanging by a thread. And if a major home builder goes under, it will also be a major red flag to the Fed. All of these things conspire into thinking that the Fed has to move at the beginning of September. I am going to rely on my friend Dave Peltier's analysis, which is that U.S. Bancorp, Nat City Bank, and Comerica, because of their yields, are three ways to win. One is that the Fed starts cutting, then they begin to have cheap deposit base and can lend dear. So you have a low cost of funds and they can lend higher. That's very good. Second, you really want a dividend play, because what happens is the treasuries are going to go down. After taxes, you're going to have a terrific rate of return. And then finally, all of these regional banks are mortgage originators. You've blown out all the mortgage companies in this country. But if you want to have market share, you have to go buy one of the regionals. That's all that's left. There's some well-capitalized companies like a Wells Fargo, like a Wachovia, like a Citigroup, could now come in and start buying these. So clearly it's the regionals that is the number one way to play. There are, behind that, you can have retail as a possibility. I don't want to do that yet. The numbers are going to be quite bad. You can have industrials that people thought were going to be hostage to a recession. I don't want to do that yet. Their numbers this quarter might be bad. It's the regionals that have, to me, the most natural affinity for a rate cut.
The last question, is there a specific short-term lending rate that the Fed needs to reach for a complete recovery?
Not till 3.5.
3.5.
And that would require, with this Fed, multiple moves. The Fed blew it, okay? You know, I get a lot of heat for a YouTube video that I did, which talked about how it was important to open the discount window. The window's always open. I mean, I meant to lower the rates, but the Fed tightened. It had a de facto tightening by saying that the most important thing is the predominant risk was inflation. That was 3 days later. And the Fed really got it wrong. Now, people will forget by the time they take the rates down, but people should continue to put heat on the Fed, because this was a major mistake. And there's one particular guy, one president, Bill Poole, whom I think should be fired. Now, I don't know how you get a president fired, but it would send a very strong message. Firing Lockhart from Fannie Mae would be very important, too. These are things, there's absolutely been no accountability within the federal government for what is happening. And I find that to be somewhat depressing. The laissez-faire nature of the administration, I'm not blaming the administration, I'm just saying that there have been some mistakes made, and usually there are people who should take heat for mistakes. And no one is, other than, let's just say, an Angelo Mozillo, who really didn't make as many mistakes as people think.
All right, thanks a lot, Jim Cramer, on what to do if the Fed does cut rates on September 15th or even earlier.
Yep.
Thanks a lot, Jim Cramer. This is Wall Street Confidential. I'm Farnoosh Torabi. Thanks for watching.